as I make my way. The fact I'm still alive, my claim to fame. It's no surprise I'm on a rise, finna stake my claim. Separate me from the others, cause we ain't the same. Ask my brothers from another, we ain't for play. Time is money, so we got no time to waste. Soon as this thing's moving, it can't be stopped. Blue bands in my pocket, call that juggernaut.
In the world today takes everything you've got. Taking a break from all your work sure would help a lot. Get your life together.
You know the stat quo. Finna get a bag, bustin' down that blow. Out of East Side.
Oh, you didn't know? You're gonna call
Somebody. Oh, hey. We back at it. Alex, the 420 Fantasy Hustler in the building.
And my name is Bill Garnold, Scotland Free, the third Esquire.
Yeah. And shout out to everyone in the chat already. We're live on Facebook again, finally out of Facebook jail. We got a bunch of things we're going to talk about. Let me just give a little quick rundown. We're going to be talking about some Zach Wilson. Going to be talking about some Panthers, QBs. Going to be talking some N'Keal Harry.
What?
Going to be talking some Matthew Berry.
What?
See, we're going to be talking some Seahawks. Some Seahawks potential trades. We're talking some Atlanta QBs. We're even going to mix in some WWE. I don't know if you've heard the stuff about Vince McMahon. We might save the best for last on that one, but we got some shit to talk. And let's shout out everyone in the chat. And what up, Ron? He said, what up, boys? This a little earlier than usual. Yeah, about an hour earlier. We're moving up the playmakers, so we moved up this an hour earlier today.
Yeah, man, my man's had hit me. My barber hit me, you know what I'm saying? We got to get me and my son, we got to get us cleaned up. You know what I mean? So he's like, he fit me in. It happened to be we had to push everything back. But also, man, shout out to everybody in the chat, you know what I mean? Because, you know what I'm saying, the early bird gets the worm, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and that early pimp gets the fresh perm, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, and Antonio up in the house. What up? And Uncle Buck says, who's on the clock? If it's me, just let me know. Just let me know.
Is it me?
I don't know. I have no idea. It could be me. I've got 19 drafts going. And Chase said, what we smoking on today, boys? I just picked up some butter. I like it. So I got fuck, I totally forgot what this strain is called, but it's like some purple stuff. And real fire indica I'm packing up right now.
I got this. My bad, the Jamaican just went crazy. I got this God's breath.
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's a 28% flour. Then you know what I mean? It's one of those infused joints. So I mean it's up there, you know what I mean?
And whoever's on Facebook said, what up, boys? Make sure, because it just says Facebook user. So either throw your name after the comment so I know who this is, or if you'll see in the description of the video, there's a little link that you click on, and then you just like give Facebook the access or whatever to show your name.
Yeah.
Big
Damn it, Mark. Always trying to not show people's names, put people in Facebook jail.
It's Lee. There we go. See?
What up, Lee?
We should have Lee's name on there. What up, Lee?
Makings for Lee.
And Big BS said, you guys helping me get through these last 45 minutes of work. Let's get it.
Yeah, hey, give me the phone number. I'll call in the bomb thread right now. I'll clear that bitch out in 2 minutes.
And Big BS says Bogey's beard is getting a little bit long.
Yeah. You know what I mean? And it ain't one of those wise with wisdom beards. You know what I mean? It's one of those like, have you seen this man? You know what I mean? Like
it's one of those ones that'll make you go through secondary security.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Check his bag again. I don't care if he's wearing a Disney shirt that says daddy and he's with his whole family. Double check him. And then that's what happened to me. They took my weed. Meanwhile, Huss is over here wearing an actual literal Cheech and Chong shirt. And they searched me. Probably because there was a fucking wanted poster on the wall somewhere. So have you seen this man? You know what I mean?
And Mr. Bear said, okay, football season right around the corner. I need a ship this year. Hell yeah. We all need some. We need multiple. I need more than one.
57 days away. And the countdown continues to kick off. 57.
And all right, we're gonna start this on a little bit more of a heavy note. We'll get the heavy stuff out of the way and not push that back. I don't know if you guys heard, but Marion Barber, 38 years old, dies of a heat stroke inside his house or apartment. And man, we're gonna smoke one for him right now. You know me, I was never a huge Cowboy fan. The exact opposite. Because of Stu, I give the Cowboys more leeway. But 38 years old, we hate to hear some shit like this. So
yeah, man.
Let's all smoke one real quick, and we'll get these crossroads going.
And we're gonna miss everybody, and I'm gonna miss everybody. Oh, and I'm gonna miss everybody. I know I'm not on beat because the stream lags for the viewers. I don't care. I'm saying
it's pretty close.
Shout out to Marion Barber. Giving him a Jamaica. He's smoking a fatty up there, man. It's just a trip, man. Heat stroke. He's hella young.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean?
Fantasy.
Shout out.
Go ahead.
Uncle Buck said I wouldn't say bomb with that beard, Bogey.
And you know what's funny is that like somebody told me I have a career in espionage if I wanted, because like if I shave my face, I look like a traditional Filipino, maybe mestizo dude. You know what I mean? But like depending on how I shape my hair and whatnot, I can look Puerto Rican. You know what I mean? Right now, I might walk to the liquor store and they'd be like, "Buddy," you know what I mean?
Hey, buddy.
I'm telling you, bro.
And, hey, and you know what? Shout out to Al Boo Boo. You know what I mean? Rest in peace to Al Boo Boo while we're at it. The Furley Ghost.
Hell yeah. Uh-oh. Did we get temporarily blocked on Facebook? Is it because Bogey said bomb?
Or it might have been because I said
no, it's going still. It's going. Don't
I
even worry.
I said several things. How long we been going? A couple minutes?
7 minutes.
I've already threatened to call in bomb threats. I've already admitted I'm probably the guy they're looking for. You know what I mean? On wanted posters.
And AJ, my bad. I sent you the link. AJ's gonna join in with us. I got so high, I forgot to send AJ the StreamYard link. I just sent it to you, bro.
And you know what? I had to shit. I shitted on Mark Zuckerberg already. You know what I mean?
Yeah, motherfucker. And yeah, that's probably what it was more than anything else. Talking shit about Facebook. And Steven said, "What up, my man Hustler? My woman Mariah has lost her voice."
Hold on, bro. Listen, that's why I made him sign the prenup. He was getting the money. You know what I mean?
He could hit the note. I bet he could hit the note.
Hey, listen, if Stephen was with Mariah Carey, right, he'd be the dude like a pet. You know what I mean? She'd have him with the sweater tied around with the pink joint. You know what I mean?
I know you didn't watch that much South Park, but they did have an episode with Paris Hilton where she takes one of the kids, dresses him up in like a bear costume, and like he's her pet. And like the parents were like literally selling, like she makes an offer for like, I don't know, a couple $100,000 or something to buy the kid. And but then it was Butters who it was, and he got super pissed because his parents sold him to Paris Hilton. They accepted the deal.
See, listen, man, it's a dark road when you go down that road. You know what I mean? I've seen indecent proposal. You know what I mean? It never ends pretty. You know what I'm saying? It's the same difference.
We got AJ in the house. Yeah.
How's it going, everybody? How's it going?
What up? Got so high I forgot to send you the link, homie.
Hey, tell us about how much you hate John Cena again.
Industry plant. No, I'm just kidding. No, I grew up on that, man. It's like how y'all grew up on Hogan or Ric Flair. I don't know. Who was the big?
I grew up. I'm saying like he was as big to an era as like I grew up with Bret Hart. Then
17 world titles, tied for the most ever.
Yeah, for me it was Stone Cold and The Rock, because I started getting heavy into wrestling in 98 and 99. Like that's when like watching it
like 92.
I want to say 92, 93 ish. You know what I mean? Yeah, because you went to high school with your dad, bro.
Yeah, he was probably into the Attitude Era.
Yeah, hell yeah.
For all we know, you may have been conceived like after an episode of Monday Night Raw or something.
After the Edge and Lita eprepisode.
That was when it was huge.
Hey, that's when your mom's told your pops, she's like, "I'm pregnant." He's like, "What?" I'm pregnant. What?
I said we're having a boy. What?
Oh
And
man,
that's the bottom line.
you know what was so funny? I know I sent it to Bogey and Hess. I didn't send it anywhere else, but there's this guy who does a reel, and he's pretending like he's doing an impersonation of Stone Cold about to have sex with his wife. And man, that shit is so funny. He's like, "Kiss my neck," or what?
That's that type of
I
role
kiss
play
it
some
harder.
people are into.
What? So fucking funny. And what up? Antonio says, what's that same episode? Yeah, with the whore off with Paris Hilton and Big Gay Al. No, it wasn't Big Gay Al. It was it was Mr. Slave. Remember? Oh man, that episode got real. Yeah, and the catch said eating some spicy food at work and listening in for a few. I like it. Yeah, if you guys are spending your lunch hour or break with us,
Yeah, let us know what you're grabbing on too.
doing. Yeah, shout out to you guys.
Yeah,
And
man. I
King
love
Kong Bundy.
spicy food. You know what I mean?
And whoever the Facebook user is, make sure you throw your name in. Throw in another comment so I can shout you out by name. Because I saw Lee's picture pop up, so I didn't think this is Lee. And I said King Kong Bundy, Hogan when I got into wrestling. I like it. I like it.
Yeah. Well, I successfully took us off the rails. Let's get back on.
Yeah, Uncle Buck. So he shouted out. So we'll just go with what Uncle Buck said. N'Keal Harry gets traded to the Bears. And, well, he didn't say it with the question mark. He says, good news for Jacoby Myers. It should be a question mark because I don't know how much N'Keal Harry plays into Myers getting any more or less volume.
It's more so he was a former first round. He was equivalent to Rashad Penny early years to Seattle, right? Because
I kind of figured that they were going to go this direction when they got Parker. I was like, so what does this mean, Harry?
But I'm saying, though, he was a first-round draft pick that a guy they would have took later, but they couldn't trade back. No one wanted to trade with them in that draft. So they're like, all right, take N'Keal Harry. And he busted all the way. You know
yeah. Big bust.
And he fucking busted all the way. And then, of course, it's someone like Jacoby Myers, an undrafted guy, played a little special teams first and was like, he just earned his way up. You know what I mean? So, and he plays a whole different role. And then you know, like AJ said, you bring in Parker, there's no use for this guy. And at least trade him now, get something out of him, whether it's a 7th-round pick or whatnot.
I mean, that's all it was. It was a 2024 7th-round pick.
I mean, because they weren't finna pick up this would have been his 5th year. Or no, they picked up his 5th-year option last year. So now they can trade him.
Drafted in 2019.
Yeah.
I just want to know what kind of receiving core the Bears are trying to build over there because it's just a whole bunch of Darnell Mooney and nobodies.
Well, that's why Christian Kirk gets paid.
David Moore getting arrested the other day. I mean, like it matters, but still.
Listen, that's why Christian Kirk gets paid like he gets paid when he went to the Jags because no one wants to go to the Jags. So when he's there, they're like, give him whatever he wants. Ain't nobody want to go to Chicago. Matter of fact, they even had Robinson. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That just goes to show, like, you know what I mean? They nobody wants to be there. They're not a draw. You know what I mean? So they're gonna have to trade for guys like an N'Keal Harry. You feel me?
Yeah, and they got I mean, who do they got? They got Pringle now. What's he? Their number 3. Yeah, that's what's insane. They got
the St. Brown.
They got the Vagina Jones, and then the rookie, who's like gonna be like a big slot, I guess.
Oh, the oldest rookie in NFL history.
Yeah, he's like 27. What is he? He's like 25.
He's 25. He's 25. Yeah.
He had. You know who
he was a 5th-year senior last year.
And who is that? Who is that? Jones.
Velas Jones.
Okay.
Yeah, but Vagine Jones. That's what that was his name. Vaj Jones.
And Chase said, not a terrible move for the Bears. Fuck it, take a flyer. I mean, you're getting them for nothing. So I mean, it's worth it for the Bears for sure. And the Patriots, I mean, Bill Belichick's probably so pissed at N'Keal, like he probably just doesn't even want to see him around the building anymore.
I mean,
give me a 7th-round guy.
If your Bears is not something to be proud of, but Harry's probably going to be their number 2 now. So I guess that, like,
I mean, they got Jones as the number 2 on the depth chart. I mean, we'll see because Harry has
that'll change after camp. I feel like that'll change.
I mean, but N'Keal Harry's only finna play out wide, so you know what I mean. The Vaj, he's gonna play a slot more. You know what I mean?
He's gonna get.
Steven calls him Velma Jones.
Hey, you know what's crazy is like that guy, the Vaj, he be like carrying the ball too. He's like one of those guys, and you know what I mean. So like, You know what I mean? You know, maybe he's like, he's one of those late round flyers. You know what I mean? Like literally the last pick I would take in a best ball or something. You know what I mean? Otherwise, I really want. They're all best ball guys to me. Even Mooney, fuck them all. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Mooney's
I don't
definitely
think
more of a
I don't
best
want
ball guy to
any.
me.
I don't want any part of that fucking Chicago offense other than Monty, and I got to get him out of
I
good.
took
gotta
those
get
in a
Herbert.
dynasty as my 2 or 3.
You got to get Herb. If
a
you get
super
Monty,
flex.
you got to get Herb too. You know what I mean? You'll feel good about it because Herb is like he's a real cheap handcuff. You know what I mean? He's not like
in redraft though. You forcing yourself to get Herbert as a handcuff. I mean, I'm not talking best ball now.
deeper.
I'm taking Komet a lot. You don't like Komet this year?
Nah,
Hell no. Hell no.
I just like him as a volume play.
You know what? I was just never on the Komet thing, and I fuck with like Chicago Cats, bro. You feel me? Shout out to the Bears, Brews, and the Bros. And even then, it was like, yeah, man, Komet, he's not the guy. You know what I mean? That last regime didn't know how to draft good. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What up, Steven Joe? Different Steven said, greetings from Palm Springs, fellas. Hell yeah. Shout out to SoCal.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Palm Springs.
So let's see. Something we can talk about. We'll have some fun with on this one. We'll talk about two different types of clowns in the NFL. First one we got to talk about is Zach Wilson. He's turning that frown upside down, like right now. Like now
he might be in this league for 10 years after that.
He's got swag now. Taking two college women.
Oh, that's right. He lost his virginity.
Yeah, well, I mean, to his mom's friend like 10 years ago.
Yeah,
apparently.
Exactly. So now he's
one of his babysitters rocking the cradle. It's probably what happened. But yeah, the story
trying to get in on that money is what she was thinking.
And I don't get it. So I don't know who like released the whole story, but
she was fucking him when he was 12. That's wrong.
No, we don't know. I mean, that's just me making fun of it because like he smashed his mom's like one of his friends or her friends or whatever. We don't know when. That's my version of the story.
You got a picture of her?
Let me see if I can find it.
Bro, you know what's funny is that it was just like the biggest backfire in history. They were putting this out there in hopes to like ruin Zach Wilson's
like
career.
Smear his name or something.
All they did was make it better.
Yeah.
I wonder what Zach Wilson's dad has to say about this. He's probably like, yeah, son.
All the owners are like,
he probably told her, listen, your auntie, I used to take her down back in the days. You know what I mean?
All those owners are going to be like, he got that dog.
He was like, look, son, you got to be a man before you go to the NFL. You can't be in the NFL a virgin.
And see, you know what? I'm not I mean, because everything that I see, I think this is like the girl that he's actually with. I don't think this is the mom. And then they showed a picture of him. He had 2 dates at his high school prom, and it was 2 like college women, and I don't know why, like it was like his ex-girl or something that put this out. I don't know why she thought that that this was going to give him like a bad reputation or something.
That's like the
Hey man, who's really proud when he saw that picture is Joe Namath. He's like, that's right, kid. You know what I mean?
I see, look at the catch. He says, I literally drafted Zach Wilson stacking best ball because of those dudes.
Oh, shit. I mean, if this gives Zach Wilson the confidence he needs to take that next step, then
he's going to be
take all the moms.
Playing a virgin last year.
Yeah.
In my version, he's a virgin till that prom night. There you go. He became a man that night 2 times.
Until they started mixing it up with the 40-year-olds, he was. And when you're in the NFL,
by the time he got to the 40-year-olds, you know what I'm saying? Hey, maybe he's one of those. Maybe he's one of those dudes. He just likes older women. You know what I mean?
The Shermanator.
Yeah. Uncle Buck says Babyface Wilson looks like the Shermanator from American Pie.
Hey, yo, the Shermanator was lying about getting the cooter, huh? He was just lying.
That was so fun. I mean, but
he let the whole school think that he hit that. You know what I mean?
I know that was probably like a really fun like year for him that ended like really horrible because all the news finally came out. But man, to be able to get Nadia though in number 2, it's kind of worth it.
Yeah, that is true.
Nadia
because Nadia was the baddest one. All of them was whack.
Oh yeah.
I said
it. And Antonio said the New York Cougars birthday twin make the call.
Yeah, you already know. Listen. Hey, you know what's crazy is I love how this is and it's New York media, so I wonder how big it is out there. You know what I mean? Like motherfuckers out there, like
this is like he's like trying to be Broadway Joe, you know, like bringing it all the way back. Like, I mean, the foundation was already laid for him. Like now he's just trying to live up to it.
And no matter anything he does, he gets carded. Hold on, sir. Let me see your ID. You know what I mean? I'm Zach Wilson, bro. Sir. You know what I mean? That's gonna be his next headline. Like he got beat up by some securities. You know what I mean? There's some bouncers. They're like, listen, this can't be you.
Devin said this moved up Zach 5 spots in my rankings. He's a solid super flex now.
And
solid,
you know what's cool? What's cool about him?
Yes, sir.
If you have a Zach Wilson later on in best ball, in this case, later on, last pick shit, get Mike White, because the great white hope, White Mike, you feel me? He's like the ill backup. You know what I mean?
I thought Flacco was the backup. I thought they signed Flacco back.
Hey, listen, fuck Flacco, man. Flacco step aside. He's a veteran presence. You know what I mean? And if they did sign him back, good for him, because White Mike is the great white hope. Don't ever disrespect White Mike.
Mike White's first team was the Cowboys. I ain't never gonna disrespect him.
His name is White Mike, and he's the great white hope.
You want to know something? You want to know something about Mike White, Bogey? He graduated at a high school 20 minutes away from where I'm sitting right now.
Nice.
But get his name right. It's White Mike.
Yeah, it's White Mike. Hey, listen though. Hey, the homie White Mike, he's a fantasy legend, bro. Like, he just came through in a clutch on some streaming, in some super flex streaming.
Dennis from the Ignorant Thinkers podcast.
What up, Dennis?
What up? And
hey, everybody, check us out, man, on Dennis's channel. We just rocked with them last night.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, that shit was turned.
And Steven said Zach's mom is pretty bad though too. Oh, she is. Like, I mean,
hey, bro, I don't envy dad.
Yeah, and she only hangs out with baddies too. Like, I mean, one of the videos that we saw was like her like teaching. I mean, it was some kind of cycling class or whatever, and like every woman in there was just bad.
Hey,
she does one of them spin classes type of shit, right? They just ride.
Yeah, all those book clubs with the moms don't mess around.
Damn, bro. And then he was an athletic kid though, so he probably been knocking these older ones down, bro.
That's why I said, like, I mean,
he knows how to diagnose them too. He'd be like,
"This is just the first time he got caught."
He's probably been fucking his friends' moms.
This could have been just like you remember Meet the Fockers, right? I mean, this could be like like Greg and his babysitter, man, just knocking boots when they're like 13.
Hey, the dad plugged him out. He's like, listen, hey, sleep with your nanny. That's my boy. So yeah, he had a nanny till he was 19. Damn.
Yep, hell yeah. Hollywood, what up, bro? Hey, I sent you
looked exactly like him, but it wasn't.
Oh yeah.
That shit was funny as fuck.
Jorge.
And how weird is it too, just for him to come up and just pluck some of his shit?
Oh, real quick.
Yeah. No, just let me get some of your hair real quick.
Hollywood, hey, check your email. Get into that 32 team league. The spots are like almost full, so just get in.
Bro, that league's gonna be insane. That league's gonna be nuts.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be crazy.
Hope I dropped right next to Bogey.
I don't think you want that, man. Now, you know what's cool though? Is we definitely have different ideologies, and I've been sparring with you too. So I'll know, like, if you're big on a certain play that I am, I might have to pull a trigger first. You know what I mean? Earlier. You know what I'm saying? You gotta know your opponents. I hope I'm next to some strangers, bro. People that I don't spar with all the time.
Yep. And Uncle Buck says his mom is probably our age. You guys a little younger, but she's ready for me. Everyone's favorite son, Zachy. Yeah, I think she's early 40s, right? I think she had him when she was like 18.
Hey,
how old is Zach Wilson? 21.
His dad couldn't hold her down, bro.
22, right?
2022, you said?
Let's see. I think he's 22.
I want to say he's 22 as well.
Let's see.
Yeah, she might have had him when she was like 16. If she was like one of them hood rats that we know, you know.
She's turning 23 this year.
Okay.
I want to say she's 45. I think I saw a report that she's 45. His mom.
They haven't updated the Wikipedia information yet. They gotta get the mom's information attached here now because everyone's gonna wonder how old she is. All right.
I swear to God though, that motherfucker looks like he's 12, bro.
He is. He does. Baby face.
Has one of those BYU faces.
The baby face assassin. That's what we'll call him.
Yeah.
The baby face assassin. They never.
He He might be the sacrificial lamb now to all.
He was like
all
the
his
pool
mom's
guy.
friends.
Like he was the pool guy that was just knocking his homie's
Moms.
mother down, bro.
But we're gonna remember
Pops
this.
would be like, hey, the pops comes out, hey, you want something to drink, Zach? He's like, oh yeah, I'll take a Coke. I mean,
So let me ask you, guys, do you think
when he's not home, he's knocking his wife down.
you think there's a chance that this is like the
The
biggest,
baby
most
face
defining
assassin.
moment of his career? Like, you think there's a chance?
I mean, okay. What do we know of Sam Darnold from? Sucking with the Jets, right? But you know what else we know?
Or sucking face.
He got mono. You know what I mean? We know that he got mono making out with two broads. So he almost was like he almost made Joe Namath.
It backfired on him, not on Zach
Joe
Wilson.
Namath might have raised the eyebrow, and then you know what I mean? And you know what I'm saying?
Oh man, Anthony had to bring it back to Friday. He said, "Just give me 3.5 minutes, maybe even 4." So funny. And yeah, Taco in the building said the best ball team running, big baby. What up, baby? What up?
It's funny because he popped in as soon as we started talking about Zach Wilson. You know what I mean?
Yep.
He loves his
NY.
New York teams. You know what I mean? Shout out to Taco.
And Devin said, running any mocks today? Nope. But we're going to be running 2 mocks tomorrow. We're going to be doing 1 mock a little earlier in the day for the Fantasy Sevens for Iggy's joint that he's doing, 16-teamer. And we're going to be doing just a rookie IDP mock in the afternoon. So yeah, we got 2 mocks coming up tomorrow.
Bro, you're talking about, like, that must be so much harder than it is to like distinguish on offense, to like know what rookies are going to be studs besides the star ones coming in college.
Yeah. Hell yeah. All right, the other guy that we got to talk about here, we got to talk about Matthew Berry. He puts out this big post that he's stepping down from ESPN. I honestly think it's long time overdue, because as far as like, I mean, he's the original, you know, doing all this and like the first like big name in fantasy football. But I think he's just a little bit too far removed from the ground floor. Like, he just needs to be like a celebrity going on to people's shows or like doing personal appearances or shit like that and living off of his name versus trying to give people advice anymore.
You ain't lying.
What do you guys think?
Yeah, I just think that he should. I just think that that this whole time he should have at least been his own brand, because he was big enough to be. In my opinion,
I considered this. I was like, why didn't he have his own side shit going on? And then like,
but he does though. Okay, so he doesn't have his own like content going. Me and Bogey talked about it, where maybe it's ESPN who like shutting that down, because Marcus Grant and Adam Rank and James Cohen, like all those fools, they were barely able to start YouTube channels like this year, and because of different things happening. But he has the fantasy life app, and then the fantasy life like clothing company and like shit like that.
I ain't never heard of that shit. And
it's like social media for fantasy football.
Right when you said that shit.
It's 2 things. One of them, yeah, he tried to make like a cool like fantasy football social media, totally failed. The only thing that I think the app is really worth it for, it's like an algorithm where it's like every main Twitter like fantasy person, if there's any fantasy relevant shit, it goes in there. Like you'll get like a notification right away. So you don't have to follow everyone. You just follow that app.
Exactly. It compiles it all for you.
Yeah. It failed as a social media platform, but he's got like investors like Evan Longoria. He's one of like the early investors, you know, so like it's like a couple celebrities. Yeah. Yeah. He threw he's got a couple guys who like threw a couple bucks like at it, but I bet he's just wanting to do his own brand. He's got millions of followers. So I bet he does come up with a YouTube channel in like, it's probably like 90 days. I bet he has some kind of non-compete clause with like ESPN, where if he leaves early, there's going to be some kind of, just like WWE, you leave, there's like a 90-day.
They'll kill you. They'll come after you and kill you, Matthew.
Or they'll just take all the money that you
beware of Big Brother ESPN. You know what?
But yeah, so I'm curious what happens with ESPN soon.
When I got into fantasy, and you know what I'm saying, I didn't start getting into fucking with content for the fantasy till maybe like the second year, like 2014. You know what I mean? Because 2013, I was just like, you know what I mean? Like I wanted to see what, get other perspectives. So I started finding content, and then one of my Steamboat, shout out to Steamboat, he was like, "You don't fuck with Matthew Berry," and then I checked his shit. I was like, "Man, this guy sucks. Guy sucks." And then one time I revisited it. I think it was like in 2020, because then like people were like, "You don't fuck with Matthew Berry shit," and I revisited it, and shit still sucked. Guy was never right. At least when I watched it.
Yeah, it was more entertaining than anything. I mean, them and the footballers, I mean, they got the dad humor, and compared to a lot of podcasts, especially that were like, back then, I couldn't listen to anybody. Like, it was like, I mean, people might be coming out with stats out the ass, but if I literally can't listen to it because it's so fucking boring, that's literally why I could only listen to ESPN, their pod, and then the fantasy football.
Maybe it's because I've always been anti-establishment. He was like the guy.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, how's this guy the guy? Sucks.
So I even put out a post on Twitter.
This guy. You know what? Shout out to the female on the show. She would be right. She's the one that drops more isms than
me out for some reason. My bad.
No worries. But yeah, I mean, he's pretty much the first to the party, is what it was. I mean, we see guys like Brad Evans, another one who's like really bad at giving advice, but he's like living off his character, which I like the character, but like,
yeah, I mean, he really do. He be drinking tequila and eating tacos and shit like that. He's living a Denver life. He gets high.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he sucks too. Yeah, exactly. You listen to that motherfucker, you're gonna be wrong. Maybe I'll tell you this much. I'll find out who's good for what. You know what he was good for? The props. You know what I'm saying? The Yahoo dude you're just talking about.
Yeah. Brad Evans. And Antonio said you guys make the news fun. Thanks, bro.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Hell yeah, ripping bulls and chasing stories.
You know what is dope though? Is Matthew Berry. I will say though, because he probably did let's Google how much did Matthew Berry make a year? Like, what was his contract like? Because then
probably a couple $100,000. He's not getting no Tom Brady analyst money.
No, I know that, but I mean, like,
it was like you know what? I'm sure that we could find this.
Yeah,
but hell no, man. It's ESPN. They're not paying him millions. He's a fucking. He's a fan though,
because at the end of the day, though, he did open the
doors. The only person they're paying millions is Stephen A. Smith. No, I don't know, but
he did open the doors.
They're way overpaying Stephen A. No, I know. I don't know who the most they're paying, but I know they're way overpaying Stephen A. Smith. That's the character right there.
And then he gets his whole the whole 24-hour show when they're drafting and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
24-hour draft marathon or whatever the fuck.
That's why he quit. He didn't want to do that shit this year. He's tired of being their poster boy for fantasy. Maybe what if he left because the ESPN app sucks so much that he doesn't want to be associated with it anymore? Like, what if he's creating?
Bro, I've just never been into anything like ESPN and fantasy. I just never. been.
ESPN sucks. The fantasy app sucks. One year I dabbled with it.
They haven't changed it. They haven't changed it since Matthew Berry came to ESPN. It's been the same since he came there.
So they did change. At one point, I think it was like 2016 or 17, maybe they made it where the default setting was a half point now. You know what I mean? That was standard now. You know what I mean? Like if you had created a new league, it would be like that. You know what I mean? Versus like it was all fucking no point per reception. Standard.
And real quick, Devin said, have y'all seen Matthew Berry's sideshow on ESPN? So yeah, it's on. It might not even be. Yeah, it's on ESPN Plus. They took it off cable. Yeah, he said with the puppets. He said that shit was weird. Laughing my ass off. Dude's goated though. Yeah, I mean that's what it is. Like, I mean, who the fuck is he really making that content for? Like, is he really trying to attract like some 18-year-olds? Like 18-year-olds don't watch nerdy shit.
Passion projects.
And that's what it was. Like, and maybe he wants to get out of that little.
Hey, look, and I quote: "This shit sucks."
Yeah, but I was on there though. My tweet. Yeah, he did pull up a tweet in the first season when he was on actual cable. My tweet did get pulled up in like final weeks of the season. Nice. That was pretty cool.
That is awesome.
Yeah. When it was actually on cable.
If you pulled up my tweet, it would have read, "I declare war upon you and the entire fantasy universe." That's why he's retiring. I'll say it. Because he's getting out the way. Get out the way.
Yeah. So I'm curious what ESPN is going to. I mean, everything is really like around him and him being like the main guy. I'm really curious how things change. What up, Zeb?
That's because like when I
Yeah.
listen to the
Back
fantasy
on
focus,
Facebook.
like every now
You know
and then, I
what,
feel
though?
like
Hey,
I like
this is what they're gonna
everybody
do.
else on it
They're
besides
hey,
Matthew
they're gonna
Berry.
hire they're gonna hire a minority, like a dope minority fantasy analyst. That's what they're gonna do.
We'll see. We'll see. I mean, I guess the one thing that just seems like it sucks about like literally every analyst on ESPN, like,
No, I listen because they're hella diversifying everything over there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All the contracts is up. You know what I mean?
a lot of women coming up on ESPN.
Yep, exactly. And by minority, obviously we're talking women too. I mean, don't they have like when you look at the fantasy show they have right now, it was like Barry, or at least when I saw those marathon joints, it was like Barry.
Yates.
Then there was
Yeah,
You
Phil
know,
Yates,
female.
Stephania
And then
Bell,
that Daniel Jeremiah guy or whatever.
yeah,
Daniel
Yeah,
Dopp.
yeah. I was gonna say it's a J something
Yeah.
job.
Yeah.
We're all jobbers. Step aside.
I've just never
Get
been
out.
into anything ESPN wise fantasy.
You know what though? Matthew Berry is someone that can live his life that he wants to live and just be at home for real. Don't have to go to no studios, and he can just broadcast, and people will flock.
Yeah.
Like you said, he's probably just waiting around, idling by until whatever grace period he has to wait through, or a probation period, and whatnot.
Yep. Yep. And I'm sure we'll see him on YouTube. Maybe who knows where the fuck we're gonna
If he's smart, he just got to click up forces with other big dogs. You know what I mean? Like he could pull. Like there's so many big names that are always floating around, bro. That he could just swoop up on. You know what I mean? Shout out to my man, Fantasy Football Lord. I hope he referred him because that would be dope if the Football Lord was on ESPN because that's my guy. You know what I mean? And he's dope.
All right, we got a couple sets of QBs to talk about. First one that I'm gonna bring up is the Ritter Mariota combo, and we're getting it. It's from from Josh Kendall at the Athletic that the rookie Ritter, he's been impressing the Falcons staff so far, including the head coach Arthur Smith, and could make it a competition for the starting QB spot. Not news, because we always knew that it could have been a competition, but this is really just keeping Mariota on his toes, right? Do we really think that this is an open competition going into game one?
Yeah.
You think so?
I think Mariota is going to start. Either that or he looks super still right now.
I think it's an
one or
open
the other.
competition for competition's sake, right? And this is early on. What we got to watch for is once training camp hits next week, right? If they're like, oh, Mariota's throwing picks and this and that, and then you'll start hearing like, oh, Ritter's running with the team ones, or because we're gonna see him, they're gonna be like Ritter's with the threes. You know what I mean? Like that's what it's gonna be. You know what I mean?
You know what they say? They say if it's close, then start the rookie. So if it's close, then start the rookie.
That'd be so stupid for them.
Yeah.
They'd ruin him they could ruin his whole career within a half of a season because like you gotta have confidence, and their team is gonna suck.
I mean, it's not smart, but if he's younger than Mariota and he's on the same level as Mariota, you wouldn't want your rookie to play.
Josh Allen is sick because he didn't have no real veteran per se. You know what I mean? He got in. He had to beat out Nathan Peterman, and then they see a Nate, and they're like, "Yeah, get in there, Josh."
Yeah, but I mean, Josh Allen also was he drafted like 7th overall or 8th?
Yeah,
overall?
I'm just saying there was no veteran there.
Pick.
There was no veteran there, is what I'm saying though.
Well, that's why
Tyrod wasn't there when he first got there.
Nah, he wasn't there no more. 2018 with the Browns.
Yeah, they got that was his last year. Was the year before that? So So they needed to draft a QB though in the first round. Like Atlanta, I mean, they signed Mariota before the draft. I mean, they gave him $19 million. Like I mean, they're not going to give someone $19 million.
And he's a system guy. He knows the system.
I just think if it's close,
he played under Arthur Smith for a handful of seasons. You know what I mean?
I just think if it's close, to nod it towards Ritter because he's that profile of quarterback like every team wants right now. The one that has a rushing upside and has a big arm. So I feel like that's the only reason why they start him over Mariota.
But you still need a vet.
Okay.
The logic is there for like, that they should start him. They're just not going to though. Like the line is bad. The offensive weapons bad. Like there's no reason to throw him in right away.
What's the schedule? What's the first 4 weeks looking like for them?
Hold up.
Because then we'll watch. Let's do this real quick.
He may
Let's
be
do
more talented than Mariota, but we got to remember Mariota
It's
was the
NFL.
number 2 overall draft pick in the NFL. Ritter
Yeah.
was a third round draft.
And this is why they gave him 19 million too, because he's a system guy. He played with Arthur Smith or under Arthur Smith, you know what I'm saying, for years with Matt LaFleur. You know what I mean? They were all together since 2018. You know what I mean?
So here it goes. Here it goes. They start off with the Saints, the Rams, the Seahawks, the Browns, the Bucks. Those are their first 5 games. And then the 49ers. And the
So they're going 0-5, and then Ritter. Who's played week 6?
The 49ers.
Okay.
And then
So
the Bengals,
0-6.
and then the Panthers, and then the Chargers. They got like 2 games
so
out of their first half.
maybe they're going to start him again. I don't know if they start him against the division rival Panther, but he's going to get started sooner than later, bro. They have one of the worst schedules. Damn.
Why would why would you? What? They're just going to go in and throw him in.
Yeah, they're like,
there
you know
against
what?
the
No, you
Bucks,
still
or the
got-
Niners defense, or the Bengals defense.
When did you draft? When did they draft Ritter? 3rd round.
3rd round.
And here's the thing. You want to see what you got before you start making decisions for the future. Like, okay, let's make sure we secure this high ass draft pick, because now we might need to be in the business for one of these QBs. Like, you know what I mean? You got it. That's why it's going to happen. It's inevitable.
Can we remember?
And Mariota also is injury prone. One of those things is going to happen. He's going to drop. He's going to go 0-7, blood. Look at that shit.
Let me give
0-9.
you a very,
Hey, they're going winless.
let me give you a
They're
super
going winless.
let me give you a super similar situation. A backup going to a new team, QB getting drafted very shortly after, Jimmy G and Lance. Everybody in the world thinks that Lance should have
I
started.
thought you were gonna
last
say the
year.
Steelers.
All this and all that. He didn't
Not
start
me.
last year.
Hold on, you know that wasn't me. I wanted us to draft. I said we're gonna trade up and we're gonna get Lance. That
I
happened.
know. This
And
year
I
you're
said,
saying
Lance needs to sit for a year, and then
Yeah.
and that pretty much happened.
and
you know
Lance
what I mean?
was what? A 3rd overall pick, right?
He finna play.
Yeah. Now,
Oh, yeah.
well, now maybe I'm still on the Jimmy G side, but it's funny because AJ is also on the Jimmy
As the
G
days
side.
go by, I think Jimmy G's playing.
dark side is very
They
powerful.
won a Super Bowl.
The dark side clouds the mind.
But your logic is literally the exact same with Atlanta, but you're saying start the rookie.
I'm
No, no,
saying like,
My
but
logic.
I'm saying, but
Hold
Marcus
on,
Mariota
let's
never got a team to a Super Bowl and doesn't have the win
Yeah.
percentage that Jimmy G
He got
has.
it. He beat the Chiefs in the playoffs. That's his claim to fame. And he caught his own. He caught his own pass for a touchdown. You remember that shit? He
Jimmy
threw
G's
that
a
shit,
bona
the
fide.
defender- the
Jimmy, no
defender
matter what you say
swatted
about
it
Jimmy
back
G,
to
he's a
him.
bona fide winner.
I can't say that. I
And-
say he's a manager. I say he's a driver that doesn't steer off course too often.
Mhm. Hey, listen, I'm just gonna go out on a limb here, and I'm gonna say this, man. Fucking God bless Jimmy. You know what I mean? He'll be a QB somewhere. You know what I mean? And if not, he's gonna be a backup. And I'm I ain't gonna lie to you. I want that dynamic, like where Lance goes, yeah, this is my team now. You the backup. You know what I mean? And if anything happens to Lance, we got Jimmy, and Jimmy knows how to drive the car. You know what I mean? And Jimmy takes us far, man. But here's the thing, though.
It
Lance-
just looks bad because
Here's the
Shanahan's
thing,
won
though.
8
Lance
games
is not.
only without
Lance is
him.
not. Lance is the type when he's going down the field. I don't think he's missing a wide open Emmanuel Sanders. You know what I mean? He's not. He got too much arm talent. You know what I mean?
So I mean,
But if the 49ers are down 20 points to the Rams at halftime, is Lance bringing you back?
I mean, Jimmy's not bringing you back either. So
Yeah. Hey, listen. I ain't gonna lie to you. You know what's gonna bring us back is Stafford when he throws a few of them picks that we take to the house. You know what I mean? Because Stafford
not
be
with
giving
old,
it away.
not with old
Fuck you,
Butterfingers.
Jacqueski Tart.
Yeah, now with old Butterfingers tart out there, it ain't gonna happen.
So we all weren't
Give
watching
it
the same
away.
Week 17 game, bro.
That's how
Jimmy
we
G
come
carried
back
that
and
team. Jimmy G carried that team Week
Hold
17.
on. What's your Cowboys gonna do next time when they play us? You know what I mean? Boom.
Jimmy,
They would have not made a Tennessee championship if Jimmy G didn't will them into the playoffs. They started the season what 5-5.
On the hurt shoulder that y'all gave him, which y'all got him. Y'all gave
See,
him.
look,
The hurt
it
shoulder.
sounds like Bogart's
Check
still
this
on
out.
the
Hold
ropes.
on,
Like
hold
he
He
wants to like
sprained his shoulder
give Jimmy
in
G
that
his
game.
flowers, but say like fuck him at the
It's
same
his-
time. I
Hold
want
on,
to-
hold on.
It's his 49. It's the 49er in him. He can't shit
Hold
on
on.
Jimmy too much.
Hey, hold
He's
on.
talking to a Cowboy fan.
No, this is diagnosed right here. I diagnosed it. It's the Cowboys' fault because they sprained his shoulder in that game, and he had to play like a fucking hero, bro. 3 injuries to the NFC Championship, and Jaquiski fucking Tart drops it away. Anyways,
let's keep it
now
real. Like, let's look at what Debo
hold on,
did.
he had to get the surgery.
Yeah, about Cedric Wilson
Everything,
dropping that
that
fourth down
surgery
catch.
we had to get fucked up all our diabolical plans.
Dang it, Uncle Buck taking my point right before I got it. He said Debo got us to the playoffs, not Jimmy G. I mean, yeah, Debo had a crazy ass year, and Jimmy didn't even have to throw it too far, and Debo's just housing it.
Hey, I remember there was
Debo
a play, right? Hey, there was a play that had Debo out
But when
wide.
the season was on the balance, Jimmy G got them to the playoffs. When the
Hey, look at
season
it.
was on the
Hold on.
balance, Jimmy G got them to the
Hey, you're gonna
playoffs.
remember this one. Debo was out wide, right? Then they had Trevion Diggs on him. Then they motioned Debo, and he motions into the backfield. Then he snapped the ball. He runs it, but it's funny because like Trevion tries to follow him into the box. Like, no,
I knew the game was over.
He trucks everybody in there.
I knew the game was over once I saw Ayuk just completely shed Trevon Diggs off of him. I was like, this is over. When we went to halftime, we were down, what, 17-0?
Hey, Ayuk's like a baby. He's baby Nuke Skywalker, bro. Ayukin, bro.
And Zeb, so you guys hear about the news about kicker Durant signing with the Chargers? Kevin Durant signing. Yeah, there we go. Kevin Durant signing with the LA Chargers. He's going to be their top wide receiver. I saw that meme.
That's funny.
KD just wants to get paid. If he can't handle the contact in the NBA, he's definitely not handling the contact.
Yeah, and he's getting way more ducks in the NBA for a show.
Yeah, no way any NBA player wants to take an NFL contract.
And do y'all remember that? This was hella years ago. I want to say this might have even been 10 years ago when LeBron was like, he said in the interviews, like, yeah, I love the Cowboys. I'd play for the Cowboys. And he claims to have like a contract that Jerry Jones gave him, and he framed it in his office, but he never signed it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he was like, what is he going to play, tight end? You know what I mean?
I mean, that's the only thing that he could.
He was an all-star football player in high school too.
I mean, he was a freak of nature in high school. He's so much bigger than everyone. But come to NFL, those linebackers, they'd eat him alive.
Actually, like, we would talk about football so much, I never asked y'all if any of y'all are in, since you brought up Kevin Durant, if y'all are into the NBA or not.
I mean, a little bit. Not too much. Not too much. I mean,
I could dig deep into that. I'm just curious.
I like betting on it, but you know, it is what it is. Football's like so much year round that it just takes all this off-season drafts and all that. And Ron says he could play QB for sure. My ass. No way. 6'9" QB, no fucking way. 6'8" QB, whatever.
No way. I'm a huge Lakers fan and have been my whole life. Shout out.
Hate the Lakers.
I've been a Lakers fan my whole life.
Lakers and Cowboys fans. There's a whole bunch in San Diego for sure. That's probably why I didn't like them for the longest time. And Anthony said Durant should go to the Lakers. He'd never join forces.
Kyrie's going to the Lakers.
We'll see. You think he's leaving the Clippers? I don't know.
Kyrie to the Lakers. Book it.
Yeah. And let's see. So the other before we get off of Jimmy G, I'm so curious, like what the hell this means. Like I keep seeing info that the Seahawks have done their homework on a Jimmy G trade, and I don't know what the fuck that means. I don't know if that means that they've tried and failed at that, but there's no chance in hell that the 49ers actually trade Jimmy G to the Seahawks.
Ain't no way. And I think maybe if Jimmy G does sit out this next year, it might be good for him because he's not like Bogard said. This is gonna suck for Baker because he's gonna put some shitty ass tape out there with the Panthers. So like if he doesn't do the impossible and make the Panthers good, then he's not gonna sign a long-term contract anywhere unless another team is so QB needy. And Baker's never probably gonna go to a winning situation again.
He's not getting a long-term contract no matter what. Like he's either going to be a journeyman, like he could be a backup next year, or he's going to get like some Marcus Mariota like style deal or Trubisky or some shit like that.
If Jameis finished the last year, he could have got a long-term deal. So I feel like if Baker could have taken the Jameis route and been like, hey, let me go to Tampa and sit behind Tom Brady and let him humble me for a year, then he could have got a deal.
Jameis had a choice. Baker doesn't have a choice. Until next year, until after this year, it was the 5th-year deal. He would have had to sit out if he didn't want to sign that the player extension or whatever the fuck, the his 5th-year guarantee. So that's really what it is. He doesn't have the choice until next year to do that.
You know what would be interesting though? Jimmy G to the Bucks. Him taking over after Brady's gone.
Brady would stay in the league for 5 more years to not let that happen. And Jimmy G's getting like paid as much as Tom Brady,
Yeah,
like right now. So like, I think
that's why I think he's not going anywhere, because he's getting paid that much. Even if they pay a portion of his contract, that's still a lot of money to bite.
Yeah,
for someone who's injury prone.
I know Bogard needs to come back on here so I could talk shit about how Jimmy G's not going to be leaving.
Bro, I've heard so many. Bogard said he hadn't heard the reports, but I don't know how credible y'all think, like, Colin Cowherd and like all the mainstream really analysts are. But they're all talking about how like they had to change his throwing motion and how he's getting arm fatigue, and it's just the summer, and it's just not a good look. That's why they think they haven't traded Jimmy G yet, because Lance isn't it yet. They haven't seen it yet.
Yeah. Lance didn't even play in 2020, right? He like sat out like the COVID year, or like wasn't it something like that? Or
I'm not 1,000% he might have.
Let me. Yeah, let me go double check this, because yeah. Oh no, he did play he did play COVID year. No, he didn't. No, so yeah, Lance he's literally only played 19 games in college. Year 1 as a freshman, he plays 2 games. He throws 1 attempt for 1 completion. In 2020, he has 30 attempts, 15 completions, literally plays 1 game. And then in 2019, he didn't even play he's played like 3 games in the last like 2 years, or however many games he like played last year.
Crazy. That's not good. He's such a raw talent.
Yeah. Dion, what up, bro? I know Dion's on that Lance train, so he must have came in right in time to start talking shit about me talking about Lance. But yeah, and Uncle Buck said Tampa coach says no way because he can't throw the ball downfield. And Zeb said give Lance a chance. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, but if the time is to keep Jimmy G, then it's now, because Lance is on the rookie contract. So if you really want a true shot at going to the Super Bowl, then buff up that team and roll with Jimmy G. That's the way I see it.
Yeah, I mean, let's see how much Lance is actually getting paid this year. Let's see.
Their team is good enough to win a Super Bowl, as presently constructed. Just has to have the right quarterback behind the center. So
he got a $34 million contract. So last year it was a cap hit of $6 million. And then this year it's a cap hit of $7 million. Then next year, cap hit of $9 million. And then the year after that, $10 million. That's literally backup QB money. Like, I know that he may be, we always think like, oh, a guy's going to get like super paid, like in their 5th year or whatever. But if he doesn't do much in his rookie contract, it doesn't mean he's going to get some astronomical like contract either. Yeah. And Uncle Buck said, I got my Lance jersey ready to represent. Yep, about 8 mil, like 7 mil a year this year. 7.75, so damn near 8 mil. Still backup money. Yeah, and like what? You're gonna cut Jimmy G just so you can like go to the Seattle Seahawks? I don't like that. And Uncle Buck said, I seen Lance throw. Wow. Woo.
Right when everything was happening, I thought the perfect landing spot for Jimmy G was the Steelers. I was like, he goes to the Steelers, the defense with those receivers, that head coach. I was like, they're going to win 12 games. They're going to win 10 to 12 games. But I don't know. They wanted to go with Pickett.
Let me see. And you mentioned Darnold. Some news that I saw, or Baker, I mean, And I'm going to bring up Darnold and Corral.
It's a QB competition.
It is, and at least that's what they said. I still think that they're going to be trying to move Darnold, and I think Darnold still goes to Seattle,
but
make it QB competition over there.
It's because Sam Darnold has good intangibles. Like everybody in that building likes him. The locker room likes him. The team likes him. So like there's like fear. There's fear that the I don't know that the team's not going to like Baker because they all like Darnold.
There's no point of trading for Baker though. Like there really wouldn't be. I mean, I know they got him for nothing, but trading for Baker means they don't want Darnold as their starter.
I know they're just really making it. They're saying it's a competition. I feel like just to light fire on Baker's feet, to make him work for it instead of saying it's actually.
Hey, listen, Baker will beat his ass. The rooster, he got little man complex. He'll just jaw him right when he sees him. Bow, punch him right in his face. Look, Sam Darnold, you're the number 2. Let him know what time it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, both are going to be decent in preseason. Like both of them, like practice good. It's really just when they get in the game that they figure out how to get.
Oh my God, I figured it out.
Let's hear it.
And they're going to go 2 quarterbacks. It's a 2, like they did last year.
They're going to run super flex. They're going to run the Brown super flex squad.
And listen, they did this last year. Remember they had Cam and whoever the fuck it was, and they were like switching guys in and out. Remember that?
Yeah,
switching him and Darnold out.
Yeah.
At one point,
remember back when Arizona did that with Leinart and Kurt Warner?
Yeah,
like who's going to be the one coming in on the next drive, like just to like throw teams off.
Mm-hmm.
If you have 2 quarterbacks, you really have none.
That's true.
Nigel, what up, bro? Good looking on the super chat, brother. And he said Cam Newton playing next year, miracle comeback number 3. He might be able to beat out Baker and Darnold. He's definitely got more swag.
I mean, when Darnold got back healthy last year, he assumed the role, you know what I mean? Not Cam. So technically, Sam Darnold has Cam beat in that sense. You know what I mean? That's how it was last year. Cam is a free agent right now.
Yeah. And Zeb said Cam to the Seahawks. I don't know. I mean,
I don't think Cam plays again.
Because
he won't be a backup.
You know? Yeah.
He won't be a backup, so he won't play again.
I mean, we're talking about the shittiest QB tandems like in the league, so.
Yeah,
I think the Cam could come in and potentially beat. I mean, any one of those 6 guys or whatever that we just mentioned on both teams. And Dion said Panthers is a whole L. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's going to be all about CMC staying healthy. CMC goes down again like he's done in the last 2 years. Like Panthers are just screwed again. Bogard's girls made it into the chat. And Zeb said Baker had some toughness and hustle. Darnold is a weak puppy. Yeah, but Baker also not the smartest, thinking he could play through that shit, and was horrible, like playing through it.
Just if you think about it, in every stage of Baker's career, he's been on par with like they got drafted together, so they've been around each other like throughout their whole lives competing, and Baker's just been head and heels above Darnold in every step of the way. You have to think about it like this: the Browns, the year before Baker got there, were 0-16, and the year before that were 1-15. So I mean, like, not by no means was Baker like the reason that they were good the next year or the year after that, but like you still need to have a functioning quarterback to almost beat the Chiefs in the playoffs. So I don't know. I think Baker's going to win that job.
That defense. We read out the Baker stats of that, and he did good when he was going up against the Steelers and their depleted like fucking team at that point. Their depleted defense, but yeah, it was. I mean, the only reason the Browns were even in that was because of their defense. Baker fucking sucks.
And I feel like last year he showed a lot more grit than people give him. Because he was playing through injuries through the whole year,
which was stupid on his
part. They were still like, what did they finish last year? They still finished 500.
They were around that. They might have been maybe 1 game under it. And Steven said, "What's crazier is Josh Allen got drafted after Baker and Darnold." I mean, it was crazy because in year 1 and 2, I'm not Darnold. Allen sucked. I mean, rookie year he sucked. He was really bad. I mean, it was the
Bro, he
rushing.
was so bad.
Yeah. Second year, just a little bit better than the first, but enough to be like a super flex like type of option that people picked up off the waiver wire. But it was year 3. I mean, changed all the way around.
It was insane to see. It was honestly because like by year 3, going into year 3, all of us were like, yeah, like this is his last year. Like it's either now or never. And then it was like when you saw that it was now, it was insane to see. Like unlike any other quarterback I've ever seen play in my lifetime.
Yeah, he's
Truly.
a beast. Yeah, let's fire it up, Zeb. And Zeb said CMC for Ken Walker and D. Smith and a 2023 first. Dynasty Superflex, maybe hold CMC until he goes off, then trade him. I mean, I just don't really I wouldn't want to do a trade where the best guys in the trade are both running backs. I mean, if you really need a wide receiver, and I mean it's nice getting an extra first, but I don't know. I just wait on CMC. He has 2 good games. You're going to be able to sell him for way more. And if you're playing for now, I mean, you don't want to trade CMC anyways. Let's see. Chase said Baker is average, but that's not what you want from a number 1 pick. Yeah. And Stativelli said his year 2 wasn't that bad, fellas. Well, that's what I'm saying. It wasn't as bad as his first year, but it wasn't. I mean, he wasn't even drafted really in the second year. He's picked up in super flex leagues, but he's not even relevant in single QB leagues that year. And Steven said Titans still own the Bills in prime time the last 2 years. Titans have, yeah.
Because of King Henry.
Yeah. Let's see what's going to happen this year. Could still be King Henry. And Nigel, good looking on the super chat, said Trevor Lawrence, I think, gets better like Josh Allen had. Or you think he gets better like Josh Allen had?
Definitely.
So I think he takes a huge step forward. I mean, he only had 12 touchdowns last year, 17 interceptions. I think that's going to be like well reversed, and he's going to get over 20 touchdowns through the air. He's got the rushing upside too. I mean, he ran for it was like 400 and something yards last year. He increases that at all, mixes in a couple more touchdowns. Maybe that gets him a little closer to 30 total touchdowns.
I'm gonna put it like this. If Doug Peterson could get that ceiling out of Carson Wentz, then I think he could get an even higher one out of Trevor Lawrence. I think Trevor Lawrence is going to take – I think in the next 2 years, we're going to be talking about Trevor Lawrence as like a non-questionable top 10 quarterback. By the end of his 3rd year, I think he will be a top 10 quarterback in this league. It's just going to be what are they going to put around him to be successful? He's going to be drafted as a 1 by the end of his 3rd year. Just because I feel like the rushing upside is going to improve more than it did last year too.
And I'm curious how many I have no idea where he is amongst like the industry, like having him ranked. I just know where I have him ranked compared to me and Spencer and the guys who we've been talking about ranks. And I have him ranked number 12. And they didn't say that I'm crazy, but when I see their ranks, and he's like 15, 16, like stuff like that, seems like I'm at least higher on him than a lot of people around.
I just really think even out of Mac Jones, that he showed like the highest quality star plays out of he made some nasty throws. It's just it wasn't talked about because he was really that bad last year. He was really that bad last year, and the team was really that bad.
Yeah, it was.
But I feel like towards the end of the season, he gained a little bit of steam and gained a little bit of confidence, and I think next year's gonna be a lot more comfortable.
Yeah, for sure. And Stativelli said Mac's going to be that guy. See, I mean, not saying he's not going to be that guy. Just fantasy wise, I don't know if I could buy him being like a QB1 right away. I mean, it took Tom Brady a lot of years and getting a Hall of Fame wide receiver before he started becoming like a QB1 on like a normal basis. So he's great.
Scared about Mac,
but he's a super flex.
The only thing I'm scared about Mac is who he has calling the plays for him, because we don't know who's calling the plays for him.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna have Joe Judge calling offensive plays for Mac Jones, Bill
Belichick's only gonna get someone in there who is like who is going to be running like the Patriot like scheme that they've been running for years.
But like, you think that's the direction they go? Like, our offensive coordinator that is famous for that offense, him and Belichick. Like, you think they're gonna keep running with that now that he's gone? And with the new face, new quarterback.
Why wouldn't they? You can go back to every year that they were successful and every year that they weren't successful, and like minus a couple years of Tom Brady being like the best passer in the league when he's damn near a 20-year veteran, you know, at that point is when it was like taking the top off the offense all the time. They usually win with defense and grinding out the run game and having a QB that makes the plays when he needs to. He's not asked to a lot. So I think he's going to be solid.
Fair enough.
He got to put a foot on the throat. Now at Tampa Bay, that's what he likes to do too. He likes people knowing that he's the GOAT. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He want to fuck everybody up.
And so we were talking about Mac Jones, though, and Stativelli said Mac Jones is going to be that guy. And I know he's going to be a good super flex option. I just don't think he's going to be that guy like top 12-wise fantasy.
Yeah, I got him. See, I was able to squeeze him back into the top 24. He talked me into it, you know what I mean? Because I was like, I didn't realize he threw for 38. I thought he only threw for 3.
Yeah.
That's almost 4,000. So at least that puts him in there, you know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
people are going for 4,000 like nothing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he said this year, this year going to tell. It's a huge different offense. Joe Judge was a good OC, wasn't a head coach. Mm-hmm. And Zeb said Mac Jones good for the NFL, but fantasy wise, Mia. All right, and Bogey wanted to wait to get this Vince McMahon talk for you, so I brought this up at the beginning. So Vince McMahon, he's paid out $12 million in hush money to 4 separate women, so $12 million total. 4 separate women. I don't know how it was split up, if it was even or whatever, but for his quiet sexual misconduct allegations.
Because he doesn't want to get canceled or pushed out of his own company too, because that shit could happen. So like, hey, those millions, he could chuck it up. It ain't really nothing.
Nowadays. That's a very sensitive subject nowadays.
Yeah, but it's also in his mind, because he is old school. He just be like, oh, those are expensive hookers. Ha ha. You know what I mean? Like, he's Mr. McMahon, man. Come on.
That's just
I mean, he's a sexual predator in the making. You know what I mean? He's all roided up, or at least on TRT at most. You know, at minimum. You know what I mean? And you know that should make it makes motherfuckers want to just knock down everything, bro. You know what I mean? He's forcing. There's plenty of stories. Even Sable has stories of him forcing himself on her. You know what I mean?
And you know what it is? Okay, so if you guys didn't catch our breakdown of Surf Ninjas a couple days ago, go check that out on our Silver Screen Breakdowns podcast on YouTube. But we were talking about method acting, and the way the Mr. McMahon character, I think he just maybe got to a point where he's old and senile. He can't turn it off. Because if you remember back in the day during the Attitude Era and even a couple years after, like he was playing a real big scumbag. You know, everybody loved to hate him. You know, being a shit father.
I mean, that Stone Cold rivalry was huge.
Yeah, and I'm even talking kind of even after that a little bit when he was turning into like almost like a sexual predator, like on the actual show. It's like when he was like, you know, it's him and Trish, and I can't even remember how many women that he had by his side, kind of as his manager, but they were like the girls that he was having affairs with, more or less. At least, I mean, that was the character, you know, that those were his side pieces. So that's the thing that's kind of crazy, and taking that all the way. And yeah, Vince McMahon's fucking up. He's about to get kicked out of his own company. Because now that it's public, maybe there will be some shit like that where they just he's just there in name. He can't be in the building anymore or anything like that. It could get to that.
I be forgetting how many kids I got sometimes. The little man's like, "Where's the Capri Sun?" I'm like, "Damn, we got like 3 boxes of them hoes." You know what I mean? Yeah, they're all gone. Like, damn, they just all drink. I'm like, damn, there's 4 of them.
What up, Crispy?
What up, Crispy?
Stativelli, 12 million's nothing to Vince McMahon. That's for sure. Said he's still.
Hey, he's just. I mean, shit. Sleazy. Here's the thing about slimy people, bro. It's hard to stick the charges on them. Yeah. He's always been. And you know what's kind of dope is like he moved to like what Stamford, Connecticut, and you know what I'm saying that's like an upper echelon area type of shit. But he came straight from the trailer park, bro. He's a grimy, you know what I mean?
Well, in the way that Shane O'Mac talks about it, he said they lived in Stanford, but they were like they were the minority living in Stanford. 'Cause when they were kids, they weren't balling, you know, like they are now.
Fuck no. And you know, I bet you hella fools would fight Shane McMahon.
Yeah.
Shane McMahon. I remember. Hey, Shane McMahon.
Yeah, he looks like someone that got into a lot of fights growing up.
He had black eyes and everything, bro. When he was when he was working,
because he was the poor kid at school, man. You know, when you get around those uppity kids, like if you're the poor kid, they're gonna be treating you worse than they treat Kenny in South Park.
So they had a merch warehouse, right? And he made Shane run that shit. You know what I mean? So that's where he learned like all the numbers again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's like you're basically gonna do the grunt work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Considering what they were doing. You know what I mean? That's why it took him a while to break in for real, like, you know what I mean? Because he wanted to get in the big lights. Dad, come on, Dad. You know what, Shane? You're not ready yet.
It's crazy. And like
work in the warehouse, Shane. You're fired.
And Vince definitely wasn't either. Like those matches were fucking horrible with him in the beginning, where Stone Cold's just beating his ass. But it was great TV and great pay-per-view. That's for sure.
Hey, real talk. Hey, Stone Cold gave him a shiner, and he rocked that shiner the next Monday night. Like,
yeah,
bro, it's crazy how back in the day, just to watch the pay-per-views, I'd go and I'd collect cans for a month, and then I'd go and I sell them to ask my grandpa or my dad to buy the pay-per-view for me. Nowadays, you can just pay $9.99 a month to. How old was I?
Peacock.
No, yeah. What years were that when you were doing that?
Probably like from 2008 to 2012 was when I was like biggest into WWE, probably.
Yeah. You were. I know you weren't even alive yet during the Attitude Era.
Yeah, but like but when you're obsessed like that, and like when the WWE First Network came out, I like went back and watched everything because everything was on it. So it's pretty cool to see, to watch all the old school stuff.
Yeah, man. Like, okay,
crazy.
I what was it?
Yeah, Antonio, he said he had the little black box. So what I used to do with that little black box, it gives you all the pay-per-view channels. This is back in the VHS days. I used to record all 4 of those pay-per-views, and I used to sell them at school.
Right?
Allegedly.
Shit. At least when you get alive, right?
I always say I wish I was born in like the 80s or in the 90s. Honestly.
But see, listen. Your generation is gonna be the fathers of the generation that just when they come out the womb, these motherfuckers just no coding. You know what I mean? Just like, like you're that transition before it's like everyone's like kids are gonna be born in the Matrix. Meta kids.
Yeah. Stat Valley said the black box was some.
Just wanted to see all those Super Bowls. I just wanted.
I remember my dad was a stickler for the law. You know what I mean? And when we had the black box, he'd be sweating, bro. He's like, oh, like he would have it like all hidden and shit. I'm like, listen, you know what I mean? I can't find the remote. I need the buttons on the top. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, the buttons
underneath the cabinet and shit. Like, listen, we can't show that. The fuck, dude.
The funniest shit was because there was only one pay-per-view channel back then. You know, I mean, now they got dozens and maybe hundreds of pay-per-view channels on like DirecTV. But there was only one pay-per-view channel back then, and it would just be the different movies, and they'd literally have them on a loop. But then right at like 10 o'clock at night or some shit, you know, that's when the Spice Channel like kicked in. And that shit was just hilarious if you were just watching pay-per-view and that just like But I remember allegedly
growing up in my generation, we called that HBO Max or HBO growing up.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, I remember knowing that it was already on, you know, just having to turn it to channel 99 to be on the pay-per-view, and then I would just throw in a VHS, let it record for 6 hours, and then make sure I wake up hella early, and then just go get the
and that shit will run too when you watch the event live. Then it will just run on repeat all night and shit.
Yeah.
And I watched as a kid. I just watched the wrestling events over and over. And then Monday morning, talk about it at school and shit.
Yeah, because you had I mean, it was funny because there were some kids who they didn't get the pay-per-view. They'd literally buy it.
Yeah, so
Like,
they need the insight. What happened? They
and
can't wait till Raw.
And
you know what's crazy is it was like 1997-ish. And my man's he would hit me like he would call me. He was still house phone days. He would call me and be like, "Hey, bro, you know, so and so's gonna lose the title." I'm like, "What? Shut the fuck up!" I'm telling you. And I'm like, "What?" And he would do this for like a couple of weeks, and I found out because you know what I'm saying. The live, they're not live per se back then. You know what I mean?
Well, if you had hold on, but if you had the black box, I was just gonna say it aired at both times. It would air at 5 o'clock West.
Yeah,
Coast,
you're right.
And then
you're right.
It was
East Coast Live.
Yeah,
East Coast Live.
Yeah,
you're right. Okay,
so you had to have the black box to be.
And my man's bro. Here's another thing though too, because he was also on them forums already. Like there was already those wrestling forums. You know what I mean? People just spoiling shit. You know what I mean?
He was one of those nerds. I never knew anyone like that. I'm glad I didn't. I would have been pissed.
Yeah, man, that shit made me happy because like he broke kayfabe for me too, because there was still like, you know what I mean? I was probably like 11. You know what I mean? Not like I believe wrestling was real for real. But
I swear to God, I was like 20 years old when I found out.
See, that's why I wish I grew up in that time. I had to walk around questionable neighborhoods picking up cans to watch what I needed to watch.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? You got to get to the hey, you got to get to it. Hey, Vince McMahon, see, somewhere along the way, we putting money in Vince McMahon's pocket. You know what I mean? Let's be at the black box, though.
Hey, sometimes my parents would come and clutch.
Even now, I got to pay for Peacock. It just all of a sudden, it was just thrown in my package because I am a crazy person. I still have to cans.
Yeah, I wasn't. I was totally off wrestling at that point. Yeah, I think 2002 was when I stopped watching it, even though I did go to an event in 2003. It was crazy. I was so high that I literally don't even remember the Raw. And then I go back and I watch it on the WWE Network, and you can literally see me like in the I'm second row wearing like a red Steve-O shirt.
You've been on Raw, you've been on ESPN, you've been.
I mean, I was
everywhere, a little bit.
I was in the stands, but I was second row, and and it's crazy because it was a really, really sick episode of Raw, and I don't remember shit from it. I must have been shit faced when we went to it, because it was like Ric Flair was there, Goldberg was there, fucking Y2J was there. It was a crazy ass episode.
You know what's crazy? So I stopped watching wrestling like maybe like shortly after 2001 or whatever, like before, like right after the Vengeance era. You know what I mean?
Ooh. I went to Vengeance. I was in attendance for that. I was so sick.
Yeah. So that was the last. I think when Jericho got the both straps or whatnot. I stopped watching
The Rock on the same night.
Yeah, and then everyone's just gone. So then for years later, then I guess they made it like an undisputed title, and that's when Triple H came back. You know what I mean? So it's a big story arc with him, and then him.
It was supposed to be Triple H who won the titles at Vengeance, but he got hurt. He like tore his quad or whatever. A couple months before that, and Jericho got thrown in the mix.
Yeah, and then like you know what I mean. Then the return of like Brock. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So all those years I missed, but I went back revisit because before that everything was still on YouTube. They didn't yank everything off because people posted everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They didn't yank everything off till he launched the WWE Network. You know what I mean? And then now they do have stuff on YouTube, but it's their shit. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, I mean, you could find some random shit on other channels, like our Attitude Era Rules channel. I'll put the link in the chat so you guys could check that out. We're gonna start doing some watch-alongs and some old school watch-alongs. You know, now that everything's on Peacock, it's hella easy to everyone get on the exact same time that we're watching it or whatever. Yeah. We're inducing shit like that. And I watched some old school ones, AJ, some of these Attitude Era ones, these crazy ass ones.
Oh yeah.
But I did go back and I watched
Growing up DX was my shit too.
Oh yeah.
I fucked with DX so hard.
Did you ever get in trouble for doing a crotch chop or something at school to someone? Or
honestly, like growing up in WWE, like watching it is cool because like it would be like some girls would watch it, but like it would be mostly the boys watching it. And, like everybody would come to school and talk about it, and everybody'd be like congregating with their favorite wrestlers and stuff.
Gave you props if they saw you doing a crotch chopping with your age, though. Now that I think about it,
it's kind of like a rivalry thing of like, because like a lot of people had favorite wrestlers and they took it to heart. And like back then, I was a John Cena fan.
Yeah,
like Randy Orton, Triple H, and like
Randy Orton was the bad motherfucker, right?
Hell yeah.
The Viper.
So like,
yeah.
so like
He's
whoever
still
had
in
the
the game.
championship, people took that shit personally.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like I had dipped off, like right when like it was like Batista and all them they started coming back. I was like, oh okay.
Pretty much
So,
the invasion era, right? When that WCW and ECW when it all clashed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bro,
That's
now
when
it's
I-
whack. Like I
But
tuned
going
into an
back to
episode and
revisit
it's
it
weird
was
now.
dope. Like I
Oh,
did when it was all still on YouTube. I went back. I was just watching all the events. You know what I mean? Like it was sick. Like they get Guerrero's run. You know what I mean?
Oh, man.
Benoit's run. You know what I
Eddie.
mean? The Kurt Angle. Like they had basically a whole with Kurt Angle, Benoit, and Guerrero. It was just like they had a like this 3-year like massive arc that was just like every WrestleMania type of shit. And then it was like Brock and Angle. Like, you know what I mean? Like all the shit that I was just catching up to, like, oh, they had some joints. Like Brock, or was it Angle legit broke his neck trying to do a moonsault?
Fuck, when he did that to Kurt Angle tried to do the moonsault, I don't even know what the move's called, but pretty much jumping forwards and doing a backflip.
He's trying to do a shooting star press. That's
shooting
what
star press. There you go. Yeah, shooting star press.
Yeah, fuck himself up.
Dude, he's lucky he didn't fucking die, man. Like he literally fell like right on his neck. Like fuck. Josh said had a huge box of DVD recordings of wrestling and UFC given to me. Should have kept them and started a Twitch channel, right?
Yeah.
The old school shit is awesome. Especially like the old school UFC shit. If
Yeah,
you go
and the old school pride fighting too. Remember pride fighting? That shit was dope. And that shit was so dope when they came out with a video game for it. Like, I mean, when we were in high school, we had this pride fighting video game because you could like create a character. So like me and all the homies get loaded and we just all had ourselves in the game, squabbing. You know what I mean?
So funny.
Yeah, it was the same company that made the UFC game, so it was dope because it was just like the same gameplay. You know what I mean? But now you can make your own guy there because it's pride fighting. You know what I mean? It's that the underground shit.
Man, especially since we're going to be getting into a crazy ass grind of like football real soon. I really want to do one of these WWE like watch alongs.
Or yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like even like a trivia joint. That'd be dope.
Wrestling trivia would be fun.
I ask all the questions.
Yeah.
Like I mean, we can still get on Vince Russo. Like I'm still down to exercise that channel.
That would be pretty awesome.
I think Gemma's supposed to be having him on soon. I'm just waiting for that to see how that goes.
Yeah.
Then
if he's way too off his rocker, I don't even want to fuck with him. But if he's still coherent and
I know he's old, huh? I mean, he does a podcast, right? Well, actually, he did a podcast for years.
And Nigel said, "Is JC Money still with y'all? Haven't seen him in a bit. You won't really see him anywhere. He kind of like quit everything that he was doing, and no, he doesn't rock with me. He kind of turned into like a backstabber and a snake in the grass. So nah, you won't see him around here anymore."
Yeah.
Yep, JC Money.
And that happened.
And Josh said, "Oh yeah. Fuck.
I heard it in Macho Man's voice though.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
And one thing that we've also been talking about, and now that we got another now that we have another wrestling guy, we've been talking about doing this fantasy wrestlers draft and getting like 10 of us together and doing like, maybe like a 5 or 6 round like draft, have like qualifications, got heavyweight
like matches you win or what? Like
no, like drafting a squad, drafting like a stable or whatever, where you got to draft at least one heavyweight, you got to draft at least one kind of like high flyer. You got to draft a tag team. Like
a dynasty thing, where like you keep them.
You got to draft a heavyweight. You got to draft, a light heavyweight.
So this would be more for fun than anything. So my dynasty leagues, like half of the leagues, they're WWF themed, where we do like a character draft, like for the characters that we use as like our team name.
I can't remember who I am. I'm not Stone Cold though, huh? Oh, I'm Razor Ramon.
There we go. Oh yeah, it was that was when the bad guy went down. And Dion said, "What? What are you talking about? What are you saying? What about? Or is it just a what?" Hold on, is that what it was? What?
Hustler, I have a question on unrelated note,
What up,
have any of the drafts finished?
Yeah, the Al Bundy division has finished. It finished yesterday.
Let's review it. Fantasy news.
We're gonna we're not gonna do that today. We're gonna wait. We're gonna review the Smash Williams, the Al Bundy, and then whichever one finishes next, and we're gonna review like three of them.
We're gonna pair them up. That's right.
Yeah, we're gonna knock out like three of them in
Honestly,
an hour.
I'm stoked about my team right now, and the Paul Reckon crew.
Yeah. And Nigel said no BS. I saw that shit coming when he started his fantasy pro shit and talk about b-ball with the coach. Yeah. Yeah. And it is what it is. He had like literally stopped doing everything like himself. Like it was pretty much all to spite me, which I don't know why. And then like he quit after like a month of like doing it. So no idea. And
he went on to like drag like various people's names like me too, and like just talk like, you know, like come on, we're the coolest motherfuckers in the world. If there's usually somebody saying that they got a problem with any of us, that motherfucker's probably not cool. You know what I mean?
I honestly was like super like it was all out of left field. Like I literally had no idea why. Like that's what pissed me off even more, because I know if I'm like, you know, purposely like being an asshole to someone or whatever, but like I went through him being like, he felt like he needed to be on the shows, and like then he was sucking at like doing content. I was like, what the hell's going on?
He'd be on there like cooking and like we're doing a debate show, you know what I'm saying? And
yeah,
we'd be on the clock, and like I thought it was hilarious. But it was like, but he's also like, come on, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Spencer, becoming a YouTube member. I appreciate you, bro. You already know what time it is. Time to smoke. Yeah, let's get it. And how close is the Steamin' Willie Beam and Antonio? I know I'm in it, but I'm so high. I'm in 19 of these right now. Do not remember what.
I know I'm at the end of this round. We have like two. We're closing on a third to last round.
Let's get it. Yeah,
we're closing in on the second to the last round.
Okay, so we I know we got a handful of divisions that are past round 20 already. So I do know there's a bunch that are getting close.
We're about to be the 23-24 turnaround because
shit. Antonio said 25.8. That one is damn near done. We might be on like the last 3 picks. We're probably almost to me and you, and then we're almost done.
Yep.
Because me and you are going to be the first ones done, because we're going to be at the start. We're going to be at
26 rounds, I thought.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So we're at 25-8. I'm number 11. Bogard's number 12.
Oh, you only got a couple picks. Dang.
Yeah, a couple picks, and it gets to us, and then we're done. And yeah, Dion, let's smoke it up, bro. And Nigel, let's get it. Can you make a living off streaming and videos with the following that you have? I really want to start some sort of podcast. Thanks. So right now, I'm gonna say no, because 100% of the streaming, super chats and everything, like that's really what makes like just like me making money off the streaming, because like the ads and shit, like I don't get enough views right now to make a bunch of money like off the ads and like the podcast. I mean, making a couple bucks, a month off the podcast, but it's more of like building up this community, like that's what's helping me make a little bit more money. I do the squares, during the season, so that's like extra money like coming in, but it's got to have a lot of side hustles, man, until this blows up as a legit hustle. And even the fantasy footballers, like all these guys who are real huge right now, they didn't really blow up for like 4 or 5 years to where they were able to do it, like quit everything else they were doing and do that 100%. So I know that's coming for me on this in the next couple years, but still not there. But we're grinding. I just hit my 1,000th upload, I believe yesterday. So that's live stream.
Congratulations.
Fucking huge, bro. Thanks. And I did the math. I've been streaming.
Hoping to see you hit 2,000 and be here to be on the 2,000.
Hell yeah. So we did, it's been 35 months that I've been streaming. So not even 3 years, almost 1 month shy, maybe a month and a half shy of 36 months. And it averages to between 28 and 29 videos a month. So like it's almost a video a day.
Congratulations, Blood.
Yeah.
That's a high achievement.
Yeah.
Yeah, it means a lot of work.
Oh yeah.
And Ron said you got to get to like 20,000 followers to be able to get any kind of ad money. Yeah, for sure. You gotta have like, because even like multiple thousands, like, you know, you're still not even cracking $100 like per video. You got to start getting into the tens of thousands of views to where you're at least getting over 100, per video without the super chats and stuff.
It's funny because my girl, she till this day, it's like called like Judy's Life or whatever. It's like her and her husband, and they have like 5 daughters now, but it's like my girl's been following them before they had like their first kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like early on, bro, I used to film everything, and then my girl never wanted me to post shit because I was like, this type of shit's gonna blow up. You know what I mean? But anyways, bro, like now, like whenever these people have like problems with people, like or other content creators, they have such a big following, they'll be like, well, I figured I'll address it and make a bag real quick. You know what I mean? Like, because they're gonna get millions of views. You know what I mean? And it's like just to go live, even they're like, all right, cool. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Make a couple fucking bands or something. You know what I mean?
Yep. And Spencer knows what's up. He says streaming has a lot of upfront costs. Yep. Very time consuming to get a profit, work to upgrade the stream. And when it blows up, then you can fully switch. Oh, yeah. And because, this program that we're using to stream on YouTube and Facebook and all that, I mean, that's like a $50 a month, thing right there. I mean, I made sure to get, the mic that fucking Joe Rogan, and every big podcaster has. So spent some money on like the mic, got the soundboard going, all that stuff. So definitely making moves to getting it. And Ron said over 150,000 views on YouTube alone. Hell yeah. So we've been grinding. We've been grinding over the last 35 months.
They said, but I'm trying to take work until it blows up one day, and if it does, it does. And if it doesn't, then I still love what I do.
That's everybody's support right there too. When you see those numbers, that what I mean.
Yeah.
Shout out to everybody.
Yeah, literally everyone in the chat contributed to that, and everyone in the chat right now, I'm sure, contributed to that getting there faster.
We are all one with the universe.
Yeah, because I mean, it really doesn't exist without everyone watching. I mean, at the end of the day, like, it doesn't exist without you guys watching and supporting. So you guys have seen the journey. I mean, I know a lot of people in this chat right now have been around like since 2020 when I started this shit. And we evolved. Like, the evolution is crazy. Now it's coming to like a daily fantasy news show that me and Bogard killed. Last year we had some guests on who came a couple times a week, but yeah, me and Bogard, like, he almost didn't want to do it because feels weird not doing it in the studio. And I told him that I was just going to give a more raw and uncut feel because, like, we're literally both like at home, like with our kids and stuff. My wife is here, so I don't have to be with Noble. But Bogard's on daddy daycare doing this shit.
She was probably like 3 months.
I respect the fuck out of that, honestly.
July, August, September, June, July, August. When we started, August.
Yeah, we started it like a week before.
3 months old. She was 3 months old in this jump. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was dope because she could already hold her bottle for a 3-month-old. You know what I mean? I was like really advanced for those that don't know. You know what I mean? So I'll just put her in the seat. Boom. You know what I mean? And then we would just do the show. You know what I mean? Yeah. Then or it became a thing where like that became her nap time. Because I'm straight up yelling, arguing fantasy shit with holding the baby. And then, you know what I mean? She boom. Oh, she's asleep? Okay, good. But she would fall asleep every time like that.
That's how interesting we are to an under 1 year old. We put them to sleep.
Hell yeah.
And it's second nature. I got 4 kids. So I'm just like I'm bouncing around like still like rocking her to sleep while I'm just yelling all these fantasyisms.
And and see, it's cool too. Ron said, I'm daddy daycare dude, but just 1 kid. So that's why Ron was always on the streams and stuff. He's doing like the same thing at home, smoking weed, talking sports with people, but with us, that was what was super cool. And Nigel said, "Daddy daycare fantasy hustlers." Yep.
Hell yeah! You know how much? Here's the thing. I'm gonna say some of the realest shit ever. Because even when I had my son, this is not now my 3rd kid, and I'm like, I'm not paying for fucking for daycare. I was like, no, we're not doing that no more. You know what I mean? And all the kids went to the same daycare, but all of them, they all went to the same daycare. And I was like, listen.
All of them, you mean it was the 2, right?
It was literally $50 a day, and you had to have a 3-day minimum. And we don't. A lot of times, I wanted all 5 days. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, it was Yeah, shit stacks up. So I was like,
Hell
yeah, we're
yeah.
not doing that for this kid. And I just became, then I had another kid. Like, oh, see, now we got 2 of them again. You know what I mean? Nah, I ain't doing that.
Well,
It's now in COVID too. Like,
Well, and I guess what's crazy is when you like break it down, like sometimes, you know, if I mean, it all depends on how much money you're bringing in, obviously, but you know, like one of my friends, it was like his wife was always the stay-at-home mom, and then it was like, well, if she goes and works, it's gonna cost more for the daycare than she's like gonna be making. So like it just doesn't even like make sense.
Well, I mean, she had to be. I mean, just well, it depends. Like, you know, if she
they had 3 kids. So it was
she might not. She might not.
I like
have
how I
no
can relate to none of this.
I'm just saying she might not have had no qualifications in the motherfuckers. You know what I mean? So, you know, what I mean? She might have worked like a clerk job or something. You know what I mean? That's cool. You know what I mean? You know what's crazy is how much when y'all don't even know how much people make in retail, bro. It's so crazy.
Yeah.
Like my cousin, she makes 6 figures. She works for like Neiman. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she, you know, she used to just work in the store. She worked her all the way up. You know what I mean? Like, she's crazy. Working in fucking high end retail. You know what I mean?
And Nigel, what up, bro? He said, how much your setup cost? And he said, yeah, the mic was and what'd you say? The mic was like 400. Yeah. So the mic is like 400, like plus tax. Like obviously I didn't have this the first year that I was doing stuff. Like I had a $40 mic that I got from Amazon. It was after, because I got laid off, if you guys remember, in 2020. And from March until January, like I didn't get any money from like the job where I was at. I worked like 4 months, and he pretty much stiffed me on like 15,000 in like back pay that I was owed, and used COVID as an excuse. And it took all the way until January until I got unemployment. And that was when I got like 20.
We ain't lactose intolerant.
Yeah.
Nothing that thing.
Yeah, I got like 30 G's or something. Like when I finally got, it was all like at one time.
Squeezing the juice.
Half of it went to rent right away because I didn't pay rent. That was when, you know, if you didn't have the money, you weren't paying rent. And I was like, nah, I'm going on unemployment. I can't give you something I don't have. And yeah, so half of that shit goes to rent right away. And then, yeah, I probably dropped like 800 or 900 on like all the production stuff. Like 400 on the mic, and then got to get like the cords and shit. You got to get the sound interface. Got to get the what is it? The Cloudflare, like the amplifier or whatever for the mic to go in. Make sure it's smooth. I made sure to get the dopest, the Stream Deck. If you guys have seen that, there's like 2 or 3 versions. I made sure to get the biggest one, the $250 one. So yeah, it was probably like 1,000.
Gotta spoil yourself.
Yeah, to upgrade it all the way to premium, it probably costs an extra $1,000. But that's not
crazy.
The computer and shit.
It's like when I was when I first started doing, I was already doing audio shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it was all audio. But then then when I was just buying a mic, the only mic, I mean, my favorite mic, because it was always just a mic that I always got when I was a kid. You know what I mean? And then I like the brand. You know, I'm weird like that. Like, I'll buy the same TV all the time. Like, you know what I mean? Like I love Samsung TVs. I just always have to have a Samsung. I don't know. You know what I mean? There's probably better TVs out there for all I know. But anyways, the Audio Technica, man. You know what I mean? And like, it's weird because I think I always sound shitty on it. You know what I mean? But well, at least I don't say the USB version, because I have the XLR versions over there. I just got a cover. I just got the little fly cover on them. You know what I mean?
It's crazy though, the XLR that does it makes a difference. I remember when I first started it. Yeah, like it was just, I mean, I obviously, to me, I sound the same. I'm not listening to myself.
You always sound good. You always sound good. You know what I mean? I'm a sound guy. That's why I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna start trying to run my interface. I keep saying it, but I just got to rearrange everything. So I have it way over there, and all the wires run.
Yep. And Spencer said I got fucked out of 3 months' pay because the company I used to work for files for bankruptcy. Fees to sue would outweigh the wages, and I lost pretty much and got fucked. So I didn't have the money to pay for any lawyer or anything, and it's crazy because I mean they owed me. I mean it was probably like, I mean I always keep bumping it up, and now as the story goes on, the number that they owed me,
as the legend has it,
it gets higher and higher. The interest of not getting paid makes the number get higher and higher.
They call that a tall tale. You know what I mean?
But it was about 12 G's. I was making like 4 G's a month, like back then. So it was like 12 G's that he burned me out of. And like every lawyer that I was talking to, they are the ones usually defending the companies. Like there's not too many people who go after small companies because then they can't get paid. Like they're trying to like take people out of house and home, and they're trying to get hundreds of thousands of dollars, and and if there's a company that is not making that, if they're not liquid like that, they don't have that and they can't get that, it's like pointless for them to even take on cases like that. So I got fucked out of that too. Luckily I ended up getting unemployment because I just put that I was unemployed from the day that he stopped paying me, pretty much, which was when COVID kicked in around March.
Right.
And Spencer said streaming PC is 1,500 plus. I mean, I went when I was able to get a
$40 mic right now.
Yeah.
So
there we go.
$4 mic hook up straight to the computer.
Yeah, laptop. I mean that's how you got to start. I mean, shit. Like anyone who starts with the $400 mic, I'd say is fucking insane. Like, I mean, unless you already got some following, like, build up to it, because then people are going to respect you upgrading, so that's the way to do it. And so when I started, I was able to get a loan from the company that fucks with Mac, and it was like an 18-month loan, and I got approved for $4,000. I just dropped it all and just got like the i9, the newest shit. But I need to get more memory now in this bitch. That was the thing that I held back on because I couldn't afford putting anything else in there, and I got to expand and get more memory though.
Get you one of those ill wireless fucking like double terabyte joints, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just poop saves to it.
Yeah, I said inflation is killing me on computer prices right now. It's insane. Had to sell so much shit to get one just to get by for a while. Damn, yeah. These computers are getting fucking crazy out here, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah, it was crazy too because people were getting their stimmies and shit, and like, you know what I mean. I was like, I'm from the underworld. I wasn't getting no stimmies, you know what I mean. And at one point, I was like, man, I do want to buy a better computer, you know what I mean.
Man, but I got that stimmy. My girl got one, and because of my cousin Noble being 5 years old, got one for him too. So it was always nice when the stimmy checks came through. Get that 420 fund through the roof.
Right.
COVID happened. I was straight out of high school making $9 an hour.
Show, though.
So
man, so when I was in high, here's what's crazy. So 2020, I was first job I had was at McDonald's back in 2002 when I was 16, making $6.75 an hour. That's how little minimum wage has raised, like literally over like 20-year span. Crazy. It is crazy. And people wonder why I was the 420 hustler back then.
What was the minimum wage in Texas is still $7.25.
Fuck. Yeah,
their house is like a burger meal. Like, how much is like a meal at like Whataburger?
And like a meal at Whataburger is for medium probably comes out to like $9.60.
So these fools are getting paid less than what fools charge.
Nobody's really getting paid $7.25 anymore. That's just the minimum because nobody's working for $7.25 an hour.
Yeah, no one's starting. Yeah, no one's
like starting. I want to say like the starting at the McDonald's here in my town is like $9.50 or
and people $10. Wonder why like nobody like wants to work either. Like, I mean,
I don't even make that much money. I only make $13 an hour. College job working at Walmart. So
well. Man, it'll. All I gotta say is, if you grind hard, it won't be too hard for you to want to switch over to this.
If you grind, they will come.
Hell yeah! Ron said it was $4.25 when I started working, and that was in Philly. And I know shit's different, like all over the fucking place. And Spencer said $7.25. And where's Spencer? Spencer's in Wisconsin. Yeah, Wisconsin, if I remember.
Wisconsin. Oh yeah. Yeah. I want to try some deep fried cheese curds.
Also, where I live, things are considerably cheaper. So, I mean, it kind of correlates.
Well, yeah, because I think minimum wage here might be like, I don't even know what it is now, $11 an hour.
Like how much you are paying for gas where y'all are?
Like 20? I swear in California it was like dub or like 15. What was it?
How much?
I don't even know.
How much paying for a gallon of gas?
In Vegas, like $5 an hour.
Well, yeah, I mean the casino type of shit, but they're making hella bread off the fucking tips and shit.
In San Diego, I mean, it was getting up over like $6. Or I said $5 an hour, $5 a gallon. in San Diego before we left. I mean, it was already getting up like over 6, and that was like, I mean, half a year ago now.
Here it's like 367
For the gas?
for a gallon of gas. That's how much I get 10 cents off where I work, so I pay 357 for a gallon.
Yeah, man. Let me tell you about the best time gas wise that I ever had. Anthony said, yeah, minimum 15 here in SoCal, 15 and a half right now in California.
Still
He
crazy.
said gas is kind of okay, $5.79.
It's so expensive to live in California. That's why you got to be on like multiple grinds and shit. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
So that's why there's been a mass exodus to Texas from Californians.
Austin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything's way
And
cheaper.
there's also hella companies over there, so people were able to like transfer to like other campuses of the same company type of shit too.
If you go south, like closer to the border of Mexico, the towns there, like gas is probably like, I don't know, 340 there or something like that. Rent is probably like 700 or 800 a month.
There ain't nothing out there. You know what I mean?
My coolest story with gas
visit.
was when I used to work at Vaughn's. I was at the cash register, and the Vaughn's that I worked at, it was kind of close to a Vaughn's gas station. Now, it was like a couple miles away, but it was like some uppity people where I worked at, and they weren't going to drive over to that. Like literally, nobody wanted to drive over to that gas station to get just like 10 cents off of gas or whatever. So what I just started doing was putting in my mom's like Vaughn's Club card there, so my name wouldn't pop up or anything. And then I would just keep racking all these points up from people. This is when gas was maybe only like maybe like 3 something, like back in like 2008, when it was maybe 3 something, when it was 3 something in California, like 15 years ago. And
Bro, that's crazy. Like I remember right before COVID started, gas was like $1.92 or like two $2.18.
I don't even know if it was ever below $2 since I've been driving, and I've been driving since 2002. I don't know if it's ever been below $2 in California. That's crazy.
Because we got our own supply.
Yeah,
we got our own supply here in Texas.
Yep, yeah, that's for sure. And so yeah, I would just rack up all these points, and then I would go just fill up, and I would fill up for like 15 cents or whatever, and it was just like, it was awesome. That was cool. Like maybe like 9 months that I did that for.
If the world's ending
again.
You know the world's ending if gas is expensive at HEB. So I guess I can always count on that.
Yep. And Rasta, I said I just found out I'm in a podcast league with AJ. What up? Small industry. That's what's up. Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
Is that Warriors?
Is that who I'm hopping on the best ball podcast with this Friday? But no, it's a league that I just got a DM and a whole bunch of smaller podcasters just trying to gain exposure and getting to know each other. Just started a league, and it's a whole bunch of. It's pretty dope because there's a whole bunch of podcasts going against each other, and it's like me and my co-host are co-owning a team, and like I think he's on a team where like it's 4 of them co-owning a team, so it's just basically like podcast against podcast. So it's cool. I like it.
Nice. And Peacocks, I have a picture at the beach in 92. Gas was 88 cents in the background, and he's also from Texas. Damn. And Ron
what
said,
part of Texas, Miles?
Yeah, where is I forget what is he in Houston or right outside of Houston? I can't remember off the top of my head. And Ron said, "What's your podcast, Rasta?" They're the Get Right Fantasy Network. And Spencer said, "Shit has been expensive my entire driving years." Yeah, I believe it, bro. I believe it. It's been expensive, especially the last like 10 years. Like it's been ever since real estate started crashing, and yeah, it's just been going up like crazy.
You know what I'm saying? We were also vetted from the days growing up. Like if we was mobbing, and be like, "Yo, who got phase?"
956.
You guys in the same area? So he's in the McAllen, Rio Grande
It's
area.
like an hour and a half for me.
Okay.
My area code's 361, but his is 956. I have a lot of family that lives down from there.
Nice. That's what's up. All right. Well, we're gonna get ready to get up out of here, but we got the Playmakers is coming back in about an hour-ish from now, and let them know what it's all about, Bogey.
So this is it's tight end week. You know what I mean? You know, we step aside Shark Week this week. It's tight end week. Like I said, I'm repeating myself. I'm fucking high. Anyway, this is all about the early tight end theory, because for us it's pretty cut and dry, either early tight end or not. You know what I mean? And for that sake, we're gonna go versus. So it'll be like, okay, Travis Kelce, he's usually going in this certain range. So Travis Kelce, AJ, Travis Kelce or Devontae Adams?
Like, you want me to answer that right now?
Mm-hmm.
Who would I rather have this season?
Mm-hmm. But you're drafting. You're on the clock. You're drafting. You're going to redraft. Travis Kelce. Okay.
Travis
okay.
Kelce. He has a better quarterback. He has a better quarterback, and Tyreek Hill is leaving behind a 25% target share.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah, I'd rather have Travis Kelce.
Okay.
Peace out, Spencer. Thanks for getting in as a YouTube member, bro. Really appreciate it.
Yep. Shout out to Spencer, man. But yeah, so it's gonna be all kind of shit like that. We're gonna be and we're gonna be make cases. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And then for every level though, you know what I mean? It's who else do we got on the list? You know,
we're
Mark
doing,
Andrews.
It's going to be either the top 5 or top 6 tight ends that we're talking about. So it's going to be like a tight end wide receiver, like battle royale.
Yep. Oh, did I send you that shit? Do you see it pop in your email?
Oh, I'll go check.
Yeah. All right, word. But yeah,
Bogey, you need to add me on Facebook or something, Bogey.
Yeah, he needs to add himself on Facebook and get in there more often.
What are we talking about?
Yeah, just you being on Facebook.
I'm very elusive.
And AJ, just remind
they wouldn't even let me make my name Bogard Scott. Like, why is it fucking Walmart? Like parts of my, you know what I mean? I'm like, fuck.
So you should have just made it like Scott something, and that's what it could have been, man. Could have had the Scott persona on there.
It would have had to been like Scott Freeman or something.
Oh, right. See, there we go, man. That's what you should have did.
Too late now.
Yeah. I'm sure you can change the name. I know. And David P says, fuck Facebook. I know. Like, I'm able to stream there today, but it was some bullshit. I was in Facebook jail for streaming for like a month.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? I'm calling Mark.
Yeah.
Have some words with him.
Get his bitch ass on the phone.
Yeah.
But yeah, tell him about your podcast, AJ. What are you in? You dropped episode 2 this week?
Yeah, we dropped episode 2. That was over the Warrior Bowl that starts Monday. We're just doing a mock draft, drafting from the 8 spot. I'm actually thinking about taking a tight end early approach in that, because it is a tight end premium league. And I haven't taken that approach yet in a tight end premium league, so maybe this is my first one.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then I think episode 3 is about to drop pretty soon, and we're gonna.
Is there a tight end slot?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I will go early for sure.
Man.
And then episode 3 is gonna be over the NFC West, because my co-host is a Rams fan. So.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, you know what? You tell your friend I said fuck him. No, I said it.
Straight from a
come on and talk your. He said he's gonna talk his Ram-ish. You come on and talk your 49ers-ish.
Ooh.
And then I'll.
I don't know the guy. He's probably a good guy. I'm already shitting on him.
Nah, he's. I wouldn't say he's older, but he's a cool dude. I think he's like 30 or something like that.
I'm just fucking around. He's an old dude. He's like 30.
Yeah, everyone's an old dude to AJ.
No, yeah. Nah, it's not like that.
I'm just fucking around.
That's all right. I'm saying he's an older dude. 29 is older to me.
As soon as I found out how young he was, I was like, oh, I'm always fucking him. Look, kid. Look, kid, you're gonna go far, kid.
About to be 21. I'm about to be 21.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah. Unleashed.
And Spencer, man, this is fucked up. He said, real quick, my roommate's car just got stolen. It's a Kia. There's a group of mofos around Milwaukee called the Kia Boys, just going around stealing Kias. And I think they got popped. Why stealing Kias?
Let me take a picture.
He just said because they're the Kia Boys.
Let me take a picture of that.
Look here. No one drives a Kia around these parts, see? I just imagine they talk like 1920s mobs. I've been watching a lot of Chappelle. So look, see, this is the Kia gang.
Man, this shit is crazy. He said this shit's getting out of hand. And
hold on, what neighbor is that? Because I remember back in the days was who mobbed the Kias, the motherfucking the dope boys, right? When they were young.
Yeah.
On gold B's, on the gold BBSs. You know what I mean? Paid in full.
Yeah.
They mob Kias, right?
Yep. Yeah, they mobbed a bunch of different things. I mean, now they were always in the Beamers. They were in the
No,
Beamers.
early. I think then he had Mitch.
Yeah.
Mitch had the goddamn. He had the Kia on the gold BBSs. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I might be remembering that wrong.
And Rasta Ice and AJ Hus Bogey, if y'all are available for a mock on July 22nd, we'd love to have you guys on, and we can talk off air, but open invite. Yeah. Let's see. When is that?
Depends what time.
It's next Friday. They usually do it.
Oh
like
yeah.
7, 8, or 9.
I'll get out. It's as long as it's sleeper.
Yeah.
It's sleeper.
Yeah.
I'll rock with them. What are they giving us? A minute, 30 seconds?
I think they do a minute. They're not
right? Okay, cool. Yeah, word. I probably won't be able to jump on the stream though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because you probably
shoot the link and I'll fuck with it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I like it because then they do the reviews, you know what I mean? And then, so what is this? They do Superflex, right?
I don't know. I mean, they just keep doing different mocks like every time. So not sure what it is. And
I'm down for whatever because I've already declared war across the fantasy universe. They know this.
Man, this shit's ridiculous. Spencer says this Kia crew, they're posting videos on TikTok of these guys driving stolen cars like race cars. Like, what the fuck, man? Fucking idiot.
The price of fame.
Jeez.
Or infamy.
Fucking
infamy too. Like, they're mistaking that shit for clout, bro. Like, these motherfuckers want to do some crazy shit. Hey, to each his own, though. You know what I mean? We should just get money the old-fashioned way and just like, whatever people like to get high. You know what I mean? Wow, you feel me?
Yep. All right. Well,
we don't need to do all that extra shit.
Yeah, let's get the hell up out of here. We got Playmakers starting in about an hour, so I'll post the link here in a second. So yeah, just make sure you're tapped in. If you don't have, if you're not subscribed, well, not if you're not subscribed, but if you don't have notifications turned on, turn on all the notifications because I think YouTube, they don't update you about every single stream because we do multiples, per day. So make sure you turn the noties all the way on. And we're getting the hell up out of here. We'll see you in an hour. Peace.
As I make my way, the fact I'm still alive, my claim to fame. It's no surprise I'm on a rise, finna stake my claim. Separate me from the others, cause we ain't the same. Ask my brothers from another, we ain't for play. Time is money, so we got no time to waste. Soon as this thing's moving, it can't be stopped. Blue bands in my pocket, call that juggernaut.
In the world today takes everything you've got. Taking a break from all your worries sure would help a lot.
You know the stat quo. Finna get a bag, bustin' down that blow. Out of East Side.